Greetings, God bless everyone. Firestarter 908, also representing Eagle Army Ministries. I had two quick updates to share with you guys. The first one is in regards to the word I received from the Lord regarding the Ottoman Empire in Turkey. I think I released that a day ago or 2 days ago, and ever since then, I've just been seeing so many things escalating on behalf of Turkey, so I can definitely see why the Lord mentioned that and why I felt such a pressing heaviness regarding that country. But obviously, I prayed. I'm pretty sure most of you have prayed regarding it. Thank you for assisting me in prayer. We can continue to pray. I don't really know which way this situation is going to go. I don't even know if this is something that we can stop or, that the Lord is going to stop, or if he's just going to postpone it and pause it, or if he's, going to stop it altogether, or to be completely honest with you, whether it's something that's going to unfold and he's going to allow to carry out. So, when I gave you guys when I was sharing with you some of those news stories regarding Turkey, that was predominantly in the Middle East. I know it was like Libya and Syria. The situation was things were escalating with Turkey and things like that. All of the movement on their part. So today, this was posted. I don't know if you guys have also been seeing in the news, but there's a lot of tension escalating right now between Pakistan and India, which those two countries have been feuding forever. Okay. And these are two countries that years and years ago, like back in the day, my husband told me about it. This was before I was paying attention to political and government stuff. These were two countries that the world were always worried about getting into a war and getting into conflict over, or starting nuclear war, these two together. So they've been, at each other's throats for a long time. And war has always been, right on the edge or the brink for these two. And it's always been kind of like suppressed, or the world has always tried to get them to like calm down, we don't need to do this, back off, back down. And that has kind of always kept things, from escalating into a full-blown nuclear war. But now they're back on the scene of escalating, fighting, and as you can see, these are the main countries involved, India and Pakistan, which are right next to each other. But then you also have China is involved, because China occupies some of the land right here and right here. Let's see if we can get a bigger view of that picture. Okay. So then you have Afghanistan up here. This side is Pakistan. This is India's side. Then China's has some occupied land there. So already we see where it's not just these two countries, but other ones are also very closely related and linked to the situation as well, which only adds to the problem and to the tension if something were to happen. So anyway, the reason why I brought this up is because they're currently in the news as far as a very serious tension-filled war situation that's escalating very quickly. And many people are concerned over it, that these are two places we don't really talk about that much, but actually these will be more prone to contribute to a world war starting, India and Pakistan, than some of the other nations that we, usually hear in the news. So I was looking at that, and, I'm reading about it, and I'm like, oh, wow, and he's giving this political analysis, saying how he's sure the United States will have to get involved if things continue, yada, yada, yada. And then when it gets all the way to the bottom, he's saying most of the countries have remained neutral Like they've given their statements and everybody's pretty much trying to stay neutral and not to take sides, and everybody's trying to stay out of it except for one country. And then I got all the way down to the bottom and I saw who the one country was. Guess who it is? The Turkish Prime Minister, Erdogan. He's the only nation that has come out and picked a side. Everybody else has tried to publicly stay neutral and say, no, we're not picking sides. We're not getting involved. We're not going to instigate and escalate the situation. We want everybody to back down, calm down. Let's take this down a couple notches before something serious happens. And out of everybody, there's one person that's throwing his hat in the ring saying, yeah, I'm picking a side, instigating. And guess who it is? Turkey. Okay, and this is just a day later, 24 hours later, after I gave the emergency prayer bulletin, Turkey and World War III, where I heard the Holy Spirit loud and clear as day say the Ottoman Empire, which is now modern day Turkey. So as we see, they continue to play a role in escalations, tensions, and instigating. They really do want to cause a lot of chaos and war and conflict so they can use it as a tool to increase, their boundaries and territories and rebuild that Ottoman Empire. So, like I said, we can continue to keep that in prayer. I don't know which way that's going to go. I do want to say one thing, though, when we talk about this new season of favor and blessings, which leads me into my next update. It's about our favor. Many people may think it has to be one or the other. Are things going to escalate and get bad? Or are things going to turn around and get good and blessings and favors, okay? And as I said before, we're going to have both happening at the same time. So, like I said, I don't know which way this whole World War III is going to go, or, big wars with Turkey and things like that. All we can do is pray and watch it. But if things were to progress forward and get really bad as far as like a world conflict or anything like that, I just want you guys to know, those of us who are in favor will not only be safe and protected, but our journey of favor and blessings and increase, that's not going to be affected by, it's going to be the opposites happening at the same time. The world, the wicked, the unrepentant, those who aren't where they're supposed to be in the Lord amongst believers, that whole group, things are going to go backwards into depravity, to danger, to wars, to lack of finances, probably problems with economy, money, destructions, judgments. Everything for them is going to go backwards, okay? But everything for us at the same time, even though we're occupying the same earth, is going to go forward. So don't get discouraged or confused if you see things as far as destruction-wise escalating, because actually I have several revelations, and I know other people as well, that shows kind of a dichotomy, them both going on at the same time, and actually destruction, as that continues to emerge on the scene, or if it does progress and get worse, we're not sure how far it's going to go yet, that will even propel us in favor even further into blessings and further into being raised up into seats of authority and rulership and reward. Because if you remember, Joseph, he was raised up during a time where everything else and everyone else around him, the world around him and all the other nations, they were going into famine. And so that's just a picture for you to let you know, if the world is going into like depravity and famine and economic problems and wars and judgment and stuff like that, that doesn't stop or hinder the blessings or favor of our path. We're on two different paths. And if anything, all of those things will help raise us up higher into that seat of authority, just like it did Joseph. during a time of famine, economic problems, starvation, judgment. It only actually propelled him higher into a seat of authority. So that brings me to my second update, which is about our favor, and then I'll let you guys go. But it was something very important that I meant to add in that video, but I forgot to. And so I pinned it at the top in the comments. But just in case you didn't see this, I wanted to make sure that you guys got this tip. So in regards to favor. Now, the favor may not look the way that you think it's going to look, okay? So this is a tip to be on the lookout and be careful. It may not look like what you perceived or thought it was going to look like. It may not present itself the way you thought it was. Remember, I gave that teaching on the Lord returning and him camouflaging his appearance or changing his appearance, and the Lord returning in our lives in different ways, not as we would expect him to. Okay, this is going along the same lines. So our favor and rewards in our turnaround is an example of the Lord's arrival, okay, into our lives and to earth for those who are in favor, okay? And it may not look like, or we may not recognize it or think that it's favor. So you got to be careful with things of how they may look on the surface is what I'm trying to say. Just stay in prayer, seek the Lord and ask the Lord about everything. Seek him about direction. Ask him like, well, what is this? Is this from you? Is this okay? Is this what you're blessing me with? Is this what you're sending me? So don't judge things by how they look on the surface, because your blessing may be hidden in that, even though it may seem like something not that big of a deal, mundane. It may seem like something that doesn't even have anything to do with blessings at all. Sorry guys, I thought I turned my air conditioner off, but I actually did not. So I'm going to be speaking a little bit louder to make sure that you guys can hear me. But so one important thing is judging the size of your blessing, okay? The Lord taught me something, and also a brother of mine, that we may get discouraged by how small something looks, or how something appears, or a situation appears from the outside, okay? It may look like, oh, that's nice, that is a blessing. I am grateful for it, but Lord, this is not the big bang fireworks, the huge, large turnaround I was expecting. Okay, it's not on that level of what you described it as. Even though I appreciate these little blessings, or that would be nice, that would be some improvement. It's not really, the full shebang, the glory that you've been talking about and describing to me. Now, here's the problem. Even though something may look small or not that great or insignificant, it may look like a little teeny blessing. Don't reject little blessings. Collect all those little tiny blessings. Don't you know when you're playing a video game, you have all the coins on your way in your journey, and you're trying to get all the coins on your way? Collect all the little blessings, no matter how tiny they may seem. If you know the Lord sent it to you, or you're blessed with it, or you've been praying and it's for him, or he's been nudging you towards something or trying to give you something or present a situation or a person or whatever, or he's starting to move in a certain area in your life, and it may seem small and compared to what you're expecting, receive it all and take it all and collect it all, because remember, we serve a God of multiplication, okay? So that's what I want you guys to be aware of, is that since we serve a God of multiplication, what may start off as just one loaf and one fish, or a couple of little fish, or a couple of little blessings and rewards, or a couple of little areas in your life that you're seeing movement and improvement on, don't get discouraged and frown down on it. Just embrace it all, be grateful for it all, and really step into it, receive it, and walk in all those little tiny blessings, because the Lord can easily touch those little things and through his multiplication turn that one loaf and one little scraggly fish into a bounty of fish and bread, right? So make sure you're walking in all those different areas in the little ways with excellence. Maybe he blessed you with just some little part-time job where, it's just minimum wage as a cashier, and it doesn't seem like, some life-altering thing. And you're like, I'm grateful, but Lord, this is just not, not doing it for me. If you know it's from the Lord or he sent it to you, take it and walk in it with excellence and gratefulness and humility. Because our small, and you guys can pause this if you want to take time out to read it. I just have it up here. But basically, I'm saying the same thing. That small situation, more than likely, is going to be connected or used to turn into your monumental blessing, your big blessing, the big, huge fireworks, or the life-changing thing, the life-altering thing, okay? So the small blessings and movement in themselves aren't the big blessings, but they can be connected to it or used to produce the big blessings, or they may just be your pathway that leads you into the big blessings. I hope I explained that clearly to where it makes sense, okay? And like I said, I put it here in writing explained very clearly if you want to pause that and just read it also. But that's exactly what happened with me. And right before it, he was telling me and a brother in Christ of mine to not reject the smaller things and don't look at them as little and insignificant and just toss them to the side. No, everything that he's giving you the okay for and giving you permission and led you to and given you, even if it's small, don't judge it on its size from the outward appearance, right? In faith, receive it, walk in it, pursue it, even if it doesn't look that attractive. Because for me, when I began to pursue the little things that seemed, they were very good, they were blessings, they were wonderful things. It was definitely a change and an increase, but it wasn't like explosive increase. When I began to pursue those things out of the blue, that's how my suddenly came to me, because it was connected to one of those little things. I was just doing my best and trying to walk in excellence, and operating a little thing, and all of a sudden, bam, through that little thing is how I was contacted and a door was opened, in order to greatly bless me for that huge life-changing blessing that I've been looking for. So I just wanted to share that very important tip with you guys to kind of help you navigate this season of favor, because I don't want any of you to miss out on any of your favors or blessings or rewards going into this new season. So you just pay attention. Don't reject the little things, once again, that the Lord has sent. Don't just pursue any and every little thing, but, in prayer, in seeking, in following the Holy Spirit, looking for his guidance. If you know he's giving you permission, if you know he's giving you the green light, if you know he's put it on your heart to do it, even if it may seem small, even if it may seem tedious or like a bunch of hard work, or something that's not that fulfilling, or something that you think, man, I'm going to have to put all this hard work into this little thing just to get, a little tiny reward in return. It's something, but it's just not what I was looking for, okay? Don't let that sway you. Still do it and pursue it in excellence. Still put your all into it and receive it, because that can lead to your bigger blessing. God bless you guys. I will catch up with you, Lord's willing, next time, or whenever I can, or whenever the Lord leads me, and I will see you later.